To the untrained eye, the current state of global affairs appears as a chaotic web of geopolitical tension and shifting macroeconomic structures. News cycles present a fragmented picture of isolated crises. Astrology functions as a symbolic operating system, a geometric language used to decode the underlying patterns of collective human behavior and shifting social sentiment. Within this geometry of meaning, celestial angular relationships represent a map of electromagnetic pressure. This chart shows those relationships, translating physical angles into social realities. Zooming out, this framework operates within the enclosed cosmic egg, where luminary macrocycles shape the circulating energetic currents. Looking at the alignments for the week of June 7, 2026, a highly specific architecture of systemic pressure and energetic release comes into focus. Mapping these celestial angles allows us to anticipate the archetypal currents driving global events. Instead of blindly reacting to the daily headlines, we can observe the structural forces shaping them. The opening of this week is dominated by hard structural tension. In astrological terms, this tension is expressed through precise architectural friction. This diagram visualizes a square, a 90-degree angle that locks two planetary energies into a state of intense structural friction. Within this model, the perpendicular force creates an impasse that can only be resolved through a shift in the underlying structure, often manifesting as pressure within global institutions. As this pressure sustains across the nested fields of the chart, it correlates directly with the economic strain and ideological polarities currently fighting for dominance on the world stage. Neither side can easily yield, forcing a necessary break in the status quo. Extending across the exact center of the wheel, we see an opposition. This 180-degree polarity represents deep societal polarization, two competing collective sentiments locked in a geopolitical standoff, pulling in entirely opposite directions. Within the life field, these standoffs serve as an architectural balancing act. They provide the tension required to sustain the integrity of the collective system while it undergoes necessary growth. These specific points of friction act as the macro-level triggers that force collective evolution, dictating the rhythm of the week's most critical developments. Away from these points of tension, the chart reveals areas where collective energy is rapidly intensifying and compounding. Mechanically, this is a conjunction. When planetary paths converge, their energies stack, amplifying a single archetypal theme to maximum volume. Measured against the broader cycles of the cosmic egg, these micro-alignments serve as the exact moments where short-term social momentum feeds into the larger historical epochs of our time. By isolating this tight, overlapping cluster within a single astrological house, we identified the exact domain where global sentiment is unifying around one dominant narrative this week. Tracking these nodes of convergence allows us to see exactly where mass social momentum is building, long before the resulting events peak in the mainstream news cycle. A system cannot exist entirely under pressure. To balance the friction, the map provides harmonic angles, trines, and sextiles, serving as necessary geopolitical release valves. This diagram illustrates a trine, a 120-degree angle of energetic flow. Unlike the square, the trine offers unimpeded momentum, allowing opposing forces to integrate effortlessly. Through these flowing pathways, specific elemental themes establish clear routes for social de-escalation, allowing resources and diplomatic dialogue to bypass the rigid blockages seen elsewhere in the system. In sharp contrast to the harsh effort demanded by the squares, these are the zones where economic and political solutions will naturally emerge without resistance. These harmonic pathways ensure that the overarching global structure remains intact, successfully venting the pent-up tension of the week. Pulling back, the squares, oppositions, conjunctions, and trines combine into a single visual argument for the week of June 7th. These varying elements of tension and harmony do not operate in isolation. Together, they form a single breathing ecosystem of collective human experience. This celestial map sets the archetypal stage for human action. It describes the incoming environmental conditions, leaving the final manifestation of these events to the choices made within the system. Utilizing this symbolic framework provides a detached observational lens. It grants us the ability to interpret volatile geopolitical shifts with clarity, keeping us out of the reactive narratives dominating the modern media. As the real-world developments of the week arrive, observe them as an informed mapmaker, tracking the energy exactly as it flows through the architecture of tension and harmony.